All right, all right, all right. All right.
New Black Wall Street Book Club. Evan Jefferson, brother, much love. Educating, elevating, because in knowledge is the power and we'll never give it up. Literature's for the masses, where to put your money down, now how to watch your assets. Yeah, uplifting others is a passion. My brother Evan, he will turn it into action. New Black Wall Street Book Club. You should come read with us. Yeah, we comprehend and discuss. If we all just come together, there's no limit for us. Here comes your host, New Black Wall Street. Evan, take it away. New Black Wall Street Book Club.
All right, good evening to you, kings and queens. Thanks so much for joining us here tonight on the New Black Wall Street Book Club, where Black folk do read. You put in a book like What Makes the Great Great, and we absolutely will find it. I'm your host, ERGJ, CEO of ERGJ Enterprises, ERGJ Black Bazaar, and international best-selling author of the book, The Black Billionaires Club. It's a study of Black wealth. It's a study of the 12 richest Black people in the world today and how they built their wealth. And I just believe that if you want to be wealthy, I recommend that you study wealthy people. Well, you can begin that study by getting that book. It's going to study the 12, right? 12 that you can start with, and simply going to the website, www.theblackbillionairesclub.com, www.theblackbillionairesclub.com. You'll find that link in the description above or below. Well, tonight, guys, we having our night version of the book club. That's right, our night version of the book club. And we're going to get our motivation, our affirmation of the day, and then we're going to get right into the meat of what we're going to talk about, which is going to be our book, What Makes the Great Great, by Mr. Dennis P. Kimbro. So let us start with our affirmation of the night. I like to call this our appetizer. Our affirmation of the night, I like to call this our appetizer. Repeat after me. I will not pray for an easy life. Instead, I will ask to become a stronger person. Again, I will not pray for an easy life. Instead, I will ask to become a stronger person. The affirmation, the appetizer affirmation of the night. Let's do it again one more time for the people in the back. This time, say it with some conviction. You want to allow this thing to take root into your heart, your subconscious, by repeating it over and over and over again until it brings forth a harvest into your life. September 10th, our affirmation of the evening is simply this. Repeat after me. I will not pray for an easy life. Instead, I will ask to become a stronger person. Now, how many of you guys know that there's really no such thing as an easy life? So praying for something that really doesn't exist is kind of crazy anyway. But to become stronger, better, wiser, so that you can deal with the challenges that may come into your life, well, that's a smart thing to do. So don't pray that it's easier. Pray that you are stronger. And anything that you're dealing with, it will make you stronger as you persevere through it. Again, our affirmation of the evening, our appetizer affirmation coming out of the book, Daily Motivations for African American Success. I will not pray for an easy life. Instead, I will ask to become a stronger person. That's our affirmation of the day. Now let's get into the meat of tonight. We just want to hop right into this thing, man. We're going through the book, What Makes the Great Great. We got about 2 weeks left in this book, and then we'll be moving into our new book for the book club, which is Black Fortunes. I think I'll take a small week break when we get through with the book, and then that'll be the entrance of our new season. Again, that book is going to be called Black Fortunes, and it's a study or the story of the first 6 African Americans who escaped slavery and became millionaires. So if you want to read along with us or anything like that, get the audio book, get the book, or just tune in and we'll read together. Black Fortunes is going to be the next book up on our list for the New Black Wall Street Book Club, the story of the first 6 African Americans who escaped slavery and became millionaires. Well, tonight, guys, we're going to be discussing the 4 steps to attain the greatest victory, coming out of chapter 7 of What Makes the Great Great, which is the greatest victory, the triumph of the human spirit. And tonight it's all about the 4 steps to attain the greatest victory. So this may be 2 parts. It depends on how far we get. But let's get right into this thing tonight. What makes the great great? The greatest triumph, the greatest victory, which is the triumph of the human spirit, and 4 steps to attain the greatest victory. Let's read. Greatness, it seems, harbors heroes, resilient and resourceful in every corner. One of the first lessons of life is to learn how to wrestle victory from defeat, to transform shattered dreams into plans of action. When faced with humiliation and disaster, it takes mental toughness and stamina to sit by and watch our hopes fall from grace. It takes everything you can muster to search through the wreckage and ruins for the elements of future conquests. Yet this measures the difference between those who succeed and those who fail. You cannot measure an individual by his or her failures, but rather by what he or she makes of them. Many people seem to think that ambition is a quality born within, that it is not susceptible to improvement, that it is something thrust upon us that will guide itself. But it is a passion that responds to cultivation and requires constant care and attention. Society watches a child's first failure with deep interest. It is the index of his or her life, the measure of his capacity. The mere fact of his failure doesn't generate much concern. But how does he digest defeat? Was he discouraged? Numbed when it all turned to ashes? Rocked to the knees? Did he drift out of sight? Did he slip the noose around his neck and blame others for his misfortune? Did he conclude that he had made a mistake in his calling and dabble in something else? Or did he come roaring back, armed with a new outlook and breath, and breathe new life into his goals? You don't drown by falling into the water. You drown by staying there. You don't drown by falling into the water. You drown by staying there. And here's my question to you, kings and queens. How many of you have been staying in the water way too long? And it seems like you're grasping for air. But yet, the only reason why you're grasping for air is not because you fell into the water, because you decided to stay there. You don't drown by falling into the water. You drown by staying there. The same way you do not fail. You only fail when you accept defeat. When the prizes of life shall be awarded by the supreme judge who knows our weaknesses and frailties, the distance we have run, the weights we have carried, the handicaps we have endured, all will be taken into account. Not the distance of our race, but rather the obstacles we have overcome will decide the prize. The beleaguered soul who has plodded along against unknown temptations, the poor woman who has bared her sorrows within her heart and managed her weary way through life, those who have suffered abuse in silence, and those who have gone unrecognized or despised by their fellow runners will receive the greater gift. Here are 4 steps by which you can secure your greatest victory. Each step will work, regardless of your level of education or self-esteem. As these steps become the cultivated habits of your daily life, they will enable you to face every challenge. Everybody putting comments on every challenge with a deeper sense of purpose in yourself and your abilities. 4 steps which you can use to secure your greatest victory. Step 1, decide what limitations you will accept. Decide what limitations you will accept. So step 1 is the decision on our limitations. Let's read. There are two common errors that can devastate your ability to succeed. First, it is a mistake to assume that all limits are self-imposed. Second, it is equally foolish and self-defeating to knuckle under to self-imposed limits. Surviving the odds involves choosing which limitations you will accept and which you will resist. People who drive themselves against their natural limitations tend to become frustrated and embittered. They hold unrealistic ideals to which they try to measure up, often becoming square pegs in round holes. They rob the world of what they could do best because they spend their lives trying to do what they can only do poorly or not at all. Constant failure beats them down, and they lose all semblance of confidence and determination. These individuals expend their energies chasing what is really an impossible dream. Your first step to attaining your greatest victory is to determine what limits are truly limits versus those that are self-imposed. Our first step is to determine what limits are truly limits versus those that are self-imposed. Tiny, physically impaired, and in constant pain, Fanny Dale Peoples is a mighty hero to the staff, families, and young patients at Detroit's Children's Hospital. Since 1983, this 72-year-old Black woman has been a tireless volunteer at the hospital, logging thousands of dedicated hours without pay. Pete, as she is affectionately called, is there each morning in the surgical waiting room, offering support and comfort to all who cross her path. She is in a nursery holding sick and terminally ill infants who have no one else to cuddle them. She is with pediatric patients, uplifting each child with words of encouragement and a beaming smile. She hands out library books. She gives tours and holds daily prayer sessions. And for all her good work, day in and day out, she gets a free meal in the hospital cafeteria. Born with acute scoliosis, curvature of the spine, Pete realized at a young age that what she couldn't accomplish with good looks and physical abilities, she could achieve with a powerful spirit. Although she was raised in foster homes from the time she entered grade school, Pete was an honor student, received a scholarship at Lincoln University in Missouri, where she was named most likely to succeed, and graduated valedictorian of her class. When she was only a teenager, fate took hold. Pete underwent 15 grueling operations, was confined to a body cast, and then without any money or family support, she cared for herself for 10 lonely years. Finally, despite disabling back pain, kidney, lung, and heart problems, arthritis, and other ailments, she decided just to get on with life. Everybody put in the comments, so get on with life. So despite her back pain, despite having kidney, lung, and heart problems, despite the arthritis and other ailments, she decided to get on with life. So notice this, right? There was a despite, and then there was a decide. So regardless of all of the stuff, I mean, this woman was dealing with. I mean, it's a lot of stuff. I mean, this is enough stuff to make the average man quit. This was a lot of stuff. But despite all of this, she decided to get on with life. Despite. So I don't know about you, but that says to me, hey, what is my excuse? I mean, I'm not dealing with back pain right now. I don't have kidney, lung problems, heart problems that I know of. I mean, I don't have arthritis that I know of. And these other ailments, I'm not dealing with them. What's my excuse to not get on with life? Matter of fact, what's your excuse? Get on with life despite whatever it is that you might be dealing with. Pete found a way. Here's another word, find a way. Everybody put that in console. Pete found a way to help herself by extending a helping hand to others. As a result, her generosity has earned her a share of fame. Articles about her special gifts have appeared in national magazines, and she has received 2 personal White House commendations. In the evening, Pete returns home to her cozy little apartment, paid in part with a small monthly Social Security check. Her fortitude and strength have propelled her through another day. A day in which she accepts physical limits, but conquers those of the mind and spirit. Each day she makes a difference in her life as well as in the lives of others. Are you tired of allowing circumstances to define your life? Great question to ask. Are you tired of allowing circumstances to define your life? Are you tired of having people tell you what you can or cannot do, or what you should or must do? Perhaps you were brought up in an environment that taught limitation, that accentuated the negative, particularly your mistakes and shortcomings. Yet I know that within you, something has told you that you can make it, that you can survive and succeed in spite of the difficulties. Surroundings that others deem unfavorable cannot prevent the unfolding of your powers. Here's the key. You can have anything you want if you will only develop a consciousness to obtain it. You can have anything you want if you will only develop a consciousness to attain it. Now's the time to go beyond what they say. Now's the time to be sick and tired of being sick and tired. Program your dreams. Everybody put in console, program my dreams. That's why we're reading at night, by the way. Program your dreams into your subconscious. Then say yes to life. Life in turn will say yes to you. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. This old prayer has helped me help more people sort out where they should place the thrust of their efforts and concerns than any of us can imagine. Program your dreams into your subconscious. Now, kings and queens, billionaires, I want us to understand that although we can say that we've been programmed, although we can say that we have been socially engineered, as an adult, you can choose to change the programming. You can turn the channel. You can turn off the TV. You can choose what you allow to program your subconscious. And tonight, for those who are joining us live, or maybe those that will catch the replay, you are choosing to program your dreams right this very moment. You chose to tune in now versus other things that you could have tuned into that would have helped to program your life, your brain, your thoughts. Program your dreams into your subconscious. Then say yes to life. Everybody put in comments below, capital letters with some exclamation points. Yes. Say yes to life. Life in turn will say yes to you. Step 1 of the 4 steps to attain the greatest victory: decide what limitations you will accept. Decide what limitations you will accept. Step 2 in the 4 steps to attain the greatest victory. Step number 2: focus attention on your greatest strengths. Focus attention on your greatest strengths. Now, before we go in and read this, just think about that for a second. Many of us, we have strengths. We all have strengths and we have weaknesses. But for some reason, we tend to accentuate or to highlight or to focus on our weaknesses instead of our strengths. Focus attention on your greatest strengths. Allow your strengths to carry you along the way as you work on your weaknesses. Focus attention on your greatest strengths. All achievers have learned the secret of concentrated energy. They are in touch with their inner resources and have discovered what they can do best. What they believe is worth giving their best to accomplish. Have you discovered what you do best? Now, I'm telling you, this is some self-discovery, right? This is self-discovery to determine, to decide, to figure out what you do best. This is self-discovery. And it's like, wait a second. If I just figure that out and I just focus on what I do best, everything else is going to kind of work out. Because I'm doing my best, which typically means I'm giving my best, which typically will mean that I will receive the best. And they've learned to channel their energies into a single purpose. Always lead with your strong suit has become their personal affirmation. That comes from playing cards. How many guys know that? When you're playing cards, you always lead with your strongest suit. Greg Barranco shifted his college major from pre-med to business because he was determined to play to his strengths, preparation, and persistence. In his native hometown of Baton Rouge, Louisiana, he dropped in one of the general sales managers of Audubon Ford, a high-volume Southern car dealership. He was determined to tear a hole in the new car market big enough to fit his dreams. He swallowed hard, stuck out his hand, and uttered the words he had practiced for weeks. Hi, I'm Greg Barranco, and I like to sell cars. How many times do I have to tell you, the manager fumed, we are not hiring any more salesmen. Barranco, barely 21 years old and impeccably dressed, had been calling on the same hapless sales manager every day. Most prospective job seekers would have turned to Jell-O by now or knocked on someone else's door, but Barranco smiled warmly, shook the man's hand just as he had done the day before, and left yet another resume. He was willing to pay the price for success. As he left the showroom floor, he had already made up in his mind to come back first thing in the morning. It took the manager nearly a month before he agreed to give the eager upstart a 30-day trial. Barranco came in with a full head of steam and struck out again and again. 3 weeks elapsed before he managed to close his first deal. He convinced his sister to buy a car from him. Then, in the final week, he experienced the greatest victory. He averaged nearly a car a day, which convinced the manager to keep him on. 6 months later, he had broken every sales record at the dealership. A few years later, Barranco took the entrepreneurial plunge and launched the Barranco Automotive Group, which, with $70 million in annual sales, is now among the top Black-owned car retailers in the nation. Now, what makes Greg Barranco keep pushing to the front? His words ring in the ears of all those who aspire. The golden opportunity that you seek lies within yourself. I only know of one road to success, and that's the trail marked by persistence. As you learn to concentrate on your strengths, everybody put a console, concentrate. As you learn to concentrate on your strengths, this could be very difficult for some people. As you learn to, notice said learn, you got to learn. It's something you got to figure out. As you learn to concentrate, to focus on your strengths and on what you can do well, you will feel your self-confidence and inborn abilities rising up within you. For example, the sports world stands in agreement that the one quality that made heavyweight boxing champ Muhammad Ali nearly unbeatable was that he always made his opponents fight his fight. Ali would float like a butterfly and sting like a bee. Beneath the poetry and self-adoration lay a great fighter who knew what he could do best and stuck to it. No wonder he made far more powerful fighters believe he was the greatest. Take the second step to overcoming the odds. Make the world fight your fight. Focus attention on your greatest strengths. Everybody put in the comments, so make the world fight my fight. See, just like Muhammad Ali, once you have figured out what you do best and you focus your attention on your greatest strengths, then you can literally make the world fight your fight. You can make the world fight on your territory because you begin to take control with this thing called confidence. And the world itself bows down to the confident man or woman. It's a natural phenomenon. Make the world fight your fight by focusing your attention or concentrating on your greatest strengths. Step number 2, the 4 steps to attain the greatest victory. Focus attention on your greatest strengths. All right. So we're in the book, What Makes the Great Great, guys, and we are now into step number 3 of the 4 steps to attain the greatest victory. Step number 3, adopt a positive mental attitude and seek out positive people. Adopt a positive mental attitude and seek out positive people. Now, how many of you guys that are watching tonight, you make it your business to stay away, to walk away, to avoid negativity, negative people. You're saying, you know what, that ain't gonna work for me. You're negative Nancy, Debbie Downer. I don't need y'all in my circle no more. I kicked y'all out of my life, and I am seeking out positive people because I'm developing a positive mental attitude. I am now beginning to become optimistic. I believe that all things are possible. I don't believe that everything must be hard. I don't believe that everything must be a struggle. I believe that I can accomplish whatever it is I want to accomplish. And so I need to surround myself with people who have a hope for the future. Seek out positive people. Now, here's the thing. That could be difficult for some because they're so used. Because it's so much negativity in the world. It's so many people that are negative that it's easy to find them. It seems like it's difficult to find a positive people because guess what? They out working. They out doing positive stuff. They're not just sitting around doing nothing. I tend to find that all the negative people absolutely do absolutely nothing, and all the positive people are too busy. They're out being productive. So I found in order for me to find positive people, I got to start getting busy. And then I start to come across the movers and the shakers and the people who believe who have a hope for the future. I'm telling you, the positive people of this world are not sitting around moping and complaining about everything that they can't control. They out there making stuff happen, and they're saying, you know what? Here's what I can control, and here's what I'm going to do. Step number 3, adopt a positive mental attitude and seek out positive people. Now, the first part is very important as well, because it's very difficult for you to attract positive people in your life if you do not have a positive mental attitude. They're not going to be attracted to you if you don't have a positive mental attitude. And here's one of the things. It's very difficult to fake. It's very difficult to fake having a positive mental attitude. This is not just charisma. This is not just you put on for the Vine or put on for the IG. This is very easy to tell if you have found a genuine person who has a positive mental attitude, believe the best in everybody, has love in their heart. So adopt a positive mental attitude and seek out positive people. Thank God for the BBC. There are 2 types of people throughout the world: positive people and negative people. Whether you're an optimist or a pessimist, the future lies in your hands and yours alone. If you want to be joyful, enthusiastic, and excited about life, you can be, regardless of your circumstances. The first rule of developing a positive mental attitude is act positively and you will become positive. Everybody put that in comments below. Act positively. Mark Daniels said, entrepreneurial ups and downs will always be a part of the journey. I never let one event or even several setbacks be the determining factor for my success. Absolutely. They're just learning lessons, really. So the first rule, if you're working on developing a positive mental attitude, is to act positively, and you'll become positive. Now, I don't know about you, but I found this, I think I'm a pretty positive guy, but I find that when I kind of get to myself and I get alone and I'm not around people as much, I can tend to, negativity tries to creep in. I found that for myself. It tries. I mean, it tries its hardest to creep in. I don't let it, but it tries. The am I doing the right thing? The questioning yourself, all that kind of stuff that happens, that happens in the mind of people. I found it that is easier. Let me put it this way. I found it's easier for the enemy to attack me when I'm by myself. How many guys have found that to be true? It is easier for the enemy to attack me when I'm by myself. But he dare not attack me when I'm with you guys. He dare not attack when I'm doing this and I'm doing a new Black Wall Street Book Club later on. He's not going to attack now. It's too many people watching, I think. I don't know. Or we're too preoccupied for him. I don't know. They say that idleness is the devil's playground, so I guess that's what happens there. Act positively and you will become positive. You can't think your way into acting positively, but you can act your way into thinking positive. Welcome every morning with a smile. Try it right now. Go ahead, try to smile. Go ahead, put the big smile on. Go ahead and do your thing. That's right. Welcome every morning with a smile. Look on the new day as another special gift from the Creator, another golden opportunity to complete what you were able to unfinish the day before. Be a self-starter. So that's one of the reasons why you'll hear me say every morning, thank God he's given us another opportunity to make a difference. I'm just basically giving gratitude, paying homage to the Creator that he has given us another day. For everybody that hears the sound of my voice. And they may not thank God, but I'm thanking God for them. Allow your first hour to set the tone of success and positive action that is certain to echo throughout your entire day. Today will never happen again. Don't waste it with a false start or no start at all. You were not born to fail. Keep your mind uncluttered. Practice ridding your mind of all negative self-defeating thoughts. Practice ridding your mind of all negative self-defeating thoughts. Discipline your mind to work for you. Make it do what you want it to do when you want it to do it. Everybody putting down, so discipline your mind. I've never heard it put that way. Discipline your mind to work for you. You know what it's basically saying? You basically have to tell your mind, I'm in control. You basically have to tell your mind, I'm the boss. You basically have to tell your mind, I call the shots, not you. Discipline your mind to work for you. Make it do what you want it to do. Make it do it. And do it when you want it to do it. Do it when you want it to do it. The second part of this rule suggests that you must seek out and associate with other positive individuals. Now, here's the interesting thing. As you develop your positive mental attitude, it's like a magnet. And what happens is you're going to begin to attract other positive mental attitude type of people. And you're going to start to repel negative mental attitude type of people. It's just going to be uncomfortable. I'm telling you, it's going to be uncomfortable. You start being around people that are like, I don't want to participate in that. I don't want to have this conversation. It's going to begin to get uncomfortable because you are evolving. You're developing. You're going to a new trajectory from wherever you were, wherever you started with, whether it be negative or in the middle, if I don't even know what the middle is, to now I'm developing a positive mental attitude. I'm beginning my day with a smile. These are things that you have to create habits around. You just say, you know what? It's a new day. Wake up and just thank God and smile. I mean, that's what I do. In the comments below, share one tip that you have, something that you do to help get your day started the right way or in a positive way. I don't think there's a right way, but in a positive way. That you realize the start makes the difference. Like, how many guys know? I mean, you guys woke up on the wrong side of the bed, quote unquote. And then maybe you're late. Maybe you're supposed to get up at 7. You're up at 7:15, 7:30. You're running late. Now you're hustling and bustling, trying to make up for the time lost. And now it just seems like the whole day is what? Rushed. It just never seems to slow down. You just continue to feel like all day you're behind. That's how you started the day. Now you understand you can't make up for lost time, but we try to do it anyway as if we're in control. But what about starting your day off with a positive mental attitude? What do you do to start off your day positive? Put that in the comments below. Just share one thing. You say, here's something that has helped me to start my day in a positive way. Here's what has helped me to start my day in a positive way. Everybody's got their own stuff, their own thing. But, if you want to share a tip that's going to help your fellow member, do that for us right now. So the second part of this rule is that you must seek out and associate with other positive individuals. Take a look at the people in your life that are telling you it cannot be done. There's no way. No one has ever done this before. Are you allowing these individuals to determine whether you are capable of reaching your goals or not? In essence, are you giving your power away to others? If you are, make a decision to reclaim your power. Vivian Reed said, man, I thank God for waking me up. Monica Guy said, meditate before I go to bed, thanking God for a new day. What kind of people do you surround yourself with in your business? Are they men and women who are always searching for reasons why some things can't be done? Or are you surrounding yourself with people who find solutions? Be very careful when choosing the kind of people with whom you associate, because whether you realize it or not, they strongly influence your life. Their negativity becomes contagious in your office, in your relationships, in your family, and your businesses. People who believe that things can't be done will set out to prove themselves right. But men and women who know things can be done go out and make it happen. Notice the difference. People who think things can't be done, they go out of their way to prove that they're right. And the same token, men and women who know things can be done, they go out and they make it happen. Do you associate yourself with make it happen kind of people? They make it happen. Versus the person who they call the devil's advocate, who is always the person that kind of comes up with a reason why it won't work. I just don't get it. I stay away from that, bro. Like, why are you always the devil's advocate in the meeting? Why are you advocating for something not working? I just don't, I stay away from that person because it's typically the same person. They always thinking about why something won't work. They always thinking about, I get it. You think about all possibilities, but why are you always the person who has the negative possibility? No one else goes there but you. Because that's how you operate. You're the negative Nancy. You're the devil. You're the permanent devil's advocate. And you're one of the main reasons why we got to keep having meetings every week, because we can't move forward because you come up with a reason why this idea won't work. It's always you. You ever find that to be true? It's the same person every meeting in every group who always figures out a way why something won't work, and it stunts the growth, it stunts the progress of the whole group. Because now they got the whole group thinking about why it won't work. Versus the people that's like, man, no, we ain't got to listen to that. This is a good idea. Let's move forward on it. Let's make it happen. As you begin to spend time with like-minded people, positive, upbeat men and women, they will reinforce your attitudes about life. Greet everyone you meet with love and laughter. Be gentle and kind and courteous toward friend and foe. People who respect themselves and their abilities help nurture your capabilities and your self-esteem. So if misery loves company, don't be a part of it. Spend your time with those from whom you can draw strength and whom you can support in return. Those who do not increase you will inevitably decrease you. Those who do not increase you will inevitably decrease you. There is no in between. There is no middle. Those who do not increase you will inevitably decrease you. Now, I think this is a good time for you to think about who you associate with. Now, we know that for this group, it's the Black Billionaires Club, and we got people in this club that continue to help increase us. But as you think about your other associations, and you think about this phrase, those who do not increase me inevitably decrease me. Is it possible that you're allowing people in your life who do not increase you, bring no increase at all, and you're thinking, oh, it's just middle road type of relationship, and you're not really understanding that, well, if they're not bringing increase, there's only one other option. If they're not increasing me, they're not helping me get to the next level. There's no no positive impact or positive benefit from this relationship that I've established with this particular person. If it's no increase, there's only one other option. That's decrease. Have we been looking over people who are actually decreasing our life, who've come in our life to steal, kill, and destroy just because we want to be nice? And maybe we need to value our life enough and care enough about, have enough self-interest and care enough about our life, our trajectory, our road, our future, enough to say, you know what? You cool and all, but I'm going somewhere. And it don't really look like you are actually helping me to get to where I'm going. So I'm going to have to move on from this relationship. I wish you the best of luck. If you ever need anything, call me, but I got to go because I'm going somewhere. And it don't look like you're going to be there with me when I get to the other side. Is it time for you to evaluate your relationships and simply let some people go who are not bringing increase? Therefore, inevitably, they'll be bringing decrease. They'll be slowing you down. They'll be holding you back. These are tough but honest conversations that we must have with ourselves and about revolving around the associations that we have accepted. Lee Haney was bodybuilding's Mr. Olympia for 8 consecutive years. At 5'11", 245 pounds with a 31-inch waist and less than 5% body fat, Haney was set the standard for the sport. Since 1983, his dominance has been numbing. Haney lives in Atlanta, Georgia, where he trains housewives, corporate executives, and Olympic hopefuls. One of his prized pupils, Evander Holyfield, has won boxing's most coveted prize, the heavyweight title. Confesses, Lee makes me feel small. He is totally awesome. Though totally awesome was aptly described, Haney's outward appearance, it is also a catchy tagline that represents the business side of Mr. Olympia. He is just as expansive. Haney's mastery has earned him a string of sponsors, an exercise show on ESPN, a mail order company that pitches nutritional products, a library of workout videos, 2 aerobic and weight training gyms with plans to open more, and his signature line of sportswear. Like his predecessor, Arnold Schwarzenegger, Haney has parlayed his enormous biceps into a one-man conglomerate that earns more than $2 million per year. Success, however, came anything but easy for a poor black kid from Spartanburg, South Carolina. Haney was raised in an environment where the work ethic was wielded like a sledgehammer. His mother was domestic, and his father drove spikes for a railroad and later 18-wheelers across the country when he wasn't drilling his son on the rudiments of success. My parents told me that no one is ever going to give me a thing, Haney recalls, that I better be prepared to work hard for whatever I wanted. These words would sustain him as he fought for his place in history. As a teenager, Haney squeezed a string of part-time jobs into an already crowded schedule that included schoolwork and letters in 3 sports. During his senior year, he showed promise as a speedy high school tailback and held hopes of college and maybe professional football until he broke both legs during a routine scrimmage. His coach assured him the quickest way back to the gridiron was through the weight room. Haney took his advice and blasted forward. As Haney's body began to develop and take shape, so too did his competitive spirit. In 1979, Haney won a Teenage Mr. America competition. 2 years later, he made a name for himself by sweeping the Junior Mr. America, the American Nationals, and the Mr. Universe titles. He was 22 years old, fast reaching his peak in a sport packed with seasoned pros. Despite his success, he was still dissatisfied. Haney's period of crystallization came at the close of 1982. His face, a picture of intense concentration, he vividly describes what was going on through his mind. I attended a party with some friends when I stood up and announced that I would win next year's Mr. Olympia. To this day, I don't know why I made such an outlandish statement, but I said it. There wasn't a soul in the room who believed me. Haney's words were no idle boast, as he would seize every opportunity to disprove his naysayers. A nearly naked ambition led him to seek the wisdom of the ages. While training on the West Coast, he sought out Lou Ferrigno, the Incredible Hulk, Frank Zane, Ben and Joe Wilder, and other bodybuilding greats, before returning to Spartanburg renewed, mentally refreshed, and fully aware of what was required of him. They all emphasized the same thing. Haney reflected, attitude. They all reflected this. Now, notice this. Lee Haney, after he told everybody what he was going to do, and nobody believed him, he came back and said, you know what? I got to seek out the greats. He had to study those who had done great things in the field in which he was interested in. This is why I continue to say, if you want to be wealthy, study wealthy people, right? So Haney studied all of the bodybuilding greats, the Lou Ferrigno, Incredible Hulk, Frank Zane, whoever that is, Ben and Joe Wilder. I guess they're bodybuilding greats. He studied the greats. Everybody put in the comments, so study the great. He studied the greats. After he studied the greats, you know what he probably said to himself? Now, I don't know if this is true or not, but he probably said, you know what? If they could do it, I can do it. And then he heard one thing that rang true across all of the advice that all of these greats had given. The one thing that they emphasized the most, it wasn't exercise. It wasn't go to the weight room. It was attitude. Attitude. In true Rocky fashion, he sold damn near everything he owned, from his modestly furnished apartment but a bed, clothing, and other bare essentials, and took up residence on the second floor of a battered neighborhood gym. Here, Haney would undertake a life that could only be described as stoic stoic monasticism. Lord. From this vantage point, he would view his world. The next year would consist of nothing more than eating, sleeping, and pumping iron. Some bodybuilders go to Southern California for inspiration, Haney reflected. I looked within and found all the inspiration I needed. I became very particular about whom I associated with and what I allowed to occupy my mind. Attitude was everything. Haney's magic moment arrived in 1984 when he became the youngest ever to win the Mr. Olympia title. And 7 years later, he still rested atop the heap, a precarious spot for anyone in any sport of discipline. Today, he oversees his empire from a vastly different reference point, opting to flex his muscles in the business world as well. What Haney really wants to be as a role model for similar self-initiated men and women to lead by example. He says that whatever he has earned means nothing if he cannot show others how they too can reach their goals. Above all else, he seeks to inspire. I guess if it all goes back to 4 basic principles that have anchored my life and helped me master the moment. Now, here are Haney's 4 basic principles that have anchored his life and helped him to master the moment. The first principle, faith. Everybody put that down. Faith. Whatever you attain in life will be based upon your faith. Be willing to take risks. You cannot discover new oceans unless you have the courage to lose sight of the shore. Principle number 2, vision. Don't be afraid to dream big dreams. Take advantage of what this country has to offer. Get a dream and then lock onto it with intensified focus. Principle number 3, information. Seek knowledge. You may not have all the answers, but someone does. In 1983, I had no idea how I was going to reach my goal of Mr. Olympia, but I sought the counsel of those who had gone before me. And principle number 4, attitude. You must develop an attitude that lifts your sights from the ordinary to the extraordinary. You must develop an attitude that gives you hope, that inspires you to attempt the impossible, and that challenges you to grow. A winning attitude is the world's most desperate need. There are no hopeless situations, only people who think hopelessly. The only way you can lose in life is to defeat yourself mentally first. Your own self-doubts or the opinions of others can often stifle your abilities and any possibility of achievement. Self-confidence is often little more than a feeling deep down in the pit of your stomach that you can do something that reason says is impossible. But as you respond positively to that feeling, it grows and grows until it reaches full bloom in concrete action. That was all step number 3, by the way. Step number 3 in the 4 steps to attain the greatest victory. And step number 3, as we talked about Lee Haney, was to adopt a positive mental attitude and seek out positive people. And as I said, we're going to get through this, so we might as well get on to step number 4. So step number 4 in the 4 steps to attain the greatest victory. Make a strong commitment to reach your full potential as a human being. Make a strong commitment to reach your full potential as a human being. Landscape Larry said, I had to cut off all people who decrease me in order to really grow. Man, got the anchors out of your life. That's what I call it. I got rid of all the anchors. If you are to reach your full potential, you must cultivate the creative urges within you and respond to the sensitivity that cries out for expression. The greatest enemy of your creative powers is smug complacency, being satisfied with less than what you are capable of doing. You must find positive ways to express. Everybody put in comments to express your individuality. Robert Holland, president and CEO of Ben & Jerry's, paraphrasing old ditty, be who you is. Because when you ain't who you is who you ain't. In other words, people who accept themselves are not preoccupied with what others think about them. Uh-oh. Let me read that again. People who accept themselves are not preoccupied by what others think about them. Wow. They are willing to express those traits and inner feelings that give them their uniqueness without an undue regard for what anyone else thinks. People with strong positive self-images are satisfied to be themselves, regardless of what others think, others say, or what others do. The human mind, coupled with an indomitable spirit and a physical body, is capable of creating in a way that is unknown anywhere in the universe. Even when the physical body is limited in certain key areas, the human mind and spirit can break free to carve out success in the most amazing ways. But you must face one of life's most difficult questions. Who is holding you back? You must face one of life's most difficult questions. And here's the question I want you to answer tonight as you meditate, you journal, you think about the words that have been said tonight here on the New Black Wall Street Book Club. One of life's most difficult questions that you ponder on tonight. Who is holding you back? This is the New Black Wall Street Book Club, where Black folk do read. You put it in a book like What Makes the Great Great, and we absolutely will find it. I'm your host, ERGJ, and we invite you to join the Black Billionaires Club. And for those that are here and a part of the Black Billionaires Club, wasn't tonight just a wonderful night? In the comments below, I'd like you to share your feedback for tonight. Was this worth your time and why? Do you like the evening side of what we do? It's like, yes, I think this is good. We should do this at night. That's what I was thinking. So definitely love to get your feedback and what you think about it. Man, yeah, I get a chance to think about this stuff. I get a chance to ponder on this. I get a chance to get some good meat, some good food before I go to bed at night. And it's all mental food. It's all manna from heaven. Was this worth your time and why? Here on our evening version of the New Black Wall Street Book Club. Now, what I'll do, guys, I am looking to do this probably, I'm trying to do it Monday through Thursday, but there's some nights that it's kind of get thrown off and I just have to kind of get it in. I'm going to get it in every day. I'm trying to get it in the evening. I know Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday I can do that. Monday, we'll see. It just depends on what's going on. Got a lot of stuff trying to kind of creep into the schedule, but we're definitely going to do it. Now, the weekend, I don't know. I know Friday I'll probably do it during the day or in the morning. I'm not quite sure. But we're going to get it. I got to get it in every day because this is so important. And obviously we want to get done with the book as well, but it's so important for us to take the time for self-development. And I hope that you guys are getting a lot out of it. Of course, I do turn this into the podcast that I do every day as well. So people are not getting this in its live form, but they are getting a edited, chopped up version of it so they can listen to it tomorrow at work or wherever it is that they may be. So definitely thank you guys for your support as we continue to put out into the world a new program. And it's up to them to turn into the channel. We're going to put out the new programming, but it's up to them to turn to the channel. Well, beautiful people, you know what? I know many of you that's on the East Coast, it may be time for you to go to bed or get some rest. And so I pray, God, that you would, think about some of the things we shared tonight, that you'll chew on this, meditate on the word, so that you can have some success. Answer that question: who is holding you back? And as you prepare for bed, I pray to God that you would sleep well, that you would dream good dreams, and that He will give you another opportunity tomorrow for a new day. And as you wake up tomorrow, that you'll have something in your subconscious for you to start working on a goal. And as you have that goal, you'll start to begin to facilitate or to create a plan so that you can actually accomplish that goal. I want you to remember this, that it takes a village. It starts with us. Let's build as we climb together. We all we got, people. Matter of fact, we are all we need. And thank God, that's more than enough. Until next episode, you know what time it is. Mr. DJ, hit the music.
New black. It's the New Black Wall Street Book Club. Wall Street. With your host, Evan Jefferson. It's time for us to go. Yeah. Now, you ain't got to leave the computer, but we encourage you to get out there and learn and apply all the things you learn at the New Black Wall Street Book Club. Yeah. The new Black Wall Street. The new Black Wall Street. Book club. Book club.